I just want to be very, very provocative because I think that we spent the last 2 days actually asking ourselves a number of questions. So I want to start by saying that all the things that we've been doing for the last few days don't make any sense. Essentially, all the things that we've been doing for the last several years don't seem to make any sense. We heard yesterday about how long we've been thinking about trim and fitness since the 60s. Then we changed in 1991 to TAFISA. And we're doing a lot of things. This is the 26th Congress. How much has changed from the first Congress? How much has changed? Have we really moved the needle in any direction? Or are we instead patting ourselves on the back and saying we are doing well? Which is it? Yesterday we heard Hamburg. There are people in Hamburg who would gladly have liked to have the Olympics. The population said we didn't want it. In Buenos Aires, last year, in a very interesting discussion with the leader of the anti-Olympic Games movement in Boston, explained why the people of Boston did not want the Olympic Games in Boston. So there are those who are saying that perhaps there's something about the way in which we are doing sport that doesn't resonate with the majority of it. And there are others who are saying, but why are you telling me about movement when the media that pounds us every single day of our lives and every moment of our lives are telling us that it is better to do what they are doing, which is to keep looking at the television and playing with your TV screens and your computer screens and your cell phone screens. How many people are more comfortable sitting as a family at table having dinner, because the family that eats together stays together, when everybody's on a cell phone? So there's no communication. And the only thing that's really moving apart from your mouth are your two tongues. So you've had all the statistics, and you've had those statistics that you heard yesterday and the day before, over and over and over again. As to the number of deaths from obesity, chronic non-communicable diseases, etc. You've heard that story several times. And we're still saying that 1 out of every 4 deaths comes from those same diseases. Inactivity continues to rise, in spite of all that we are doing. So why are we doing it? Why do we continue to do it if we're not making any headway? And that's a controversy I want to bring. Is sport for all? Is global fitness and the trend towards global fitness that we are promoting, are we, when we look at them and look at the outcome in terms of our monitoring and evaluation of what we have done by programs year after year, what do they tell us? Yesterday, Professor Biddle talked about motivation. I actually, when he had the second to last slide with all those curves and wires all over the place, that looked more a realistic identification of where we are. Because he himself said it looked confusing, and then he attempted to make sense of it all for us. But the reality is he did not have made sense for us, because we ought to have recognized that what we have done and what we continue to do remains confusing to the majority of people, which is why they are not changing. Who are the motivators? You know, we're talking about fighting drugs in sport. And we continue to have it because, unlike HIV/AIDS, you know, when we had the AIDS pandemic, we were able to get people together and say, this is what it did to me. Look at what happened to me. In drugs in sport, you don't have anybody getting up and say, this is what it did to me. Right? And we continue along the same path because we don't have advocates who appear willing to say how this has transformed their lives. And if we do find an advocate, we're looking for somebody who's already very successful. The rags to riches story. And that is for a minority of people. Yes, we are talking about smart cities. But what's happening in the rural areas? Yes, we are talking about urbanization. But what's happening to the people from the rural areas? They are the ones who are walking every single day of their lives. But we're not holding up any of them as examples for movement and healthy lifestyles. And yet they're the ones who've been living longer. The reason the people in the urban areas are living longer is not because of health and fitness. It's because medicine has progressed to such an extent that we can keep them alive longer. And the more we talk about change, is the more we are talking about a return to traditions. That those who are doing better with their lives are the ones who have maintained traditions. So I'm saying to ask ourselves, why are we doing this thing? Why at the end of this, we're going home believing that we've had our 26th Congress and we have made some headway? Is it that we are satisfied with one step forward and making 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 backward? What have we done really when we go and tell people that we want them to engage in physical activity? Why should they? Are we who are asking them to do so anyway better examples exemplifying that it makes a difference in the quality of your life? You know that we go to sport and we say that it has all these positive values. And then you walk into the elevator at the sport meet. You say good morning and nobody answers you. How together are we? How much of a family are we? Yeah? And we talk about doing a lot of good things by raising funds from the private sector that by and large contribute significantly to the destruction of our quality of life. Sometimes the very people we look to for assistance to fund our projects are the ones who, by dint of their own investments in other areas of life, may well be seeking to clear their consciences by supporting our initiatives. Because they have failed us in the terms of the quality of life that we are to enjoy. Why is it that those of us who so believe in the sports for all movement have not been in the forefront of the movement for change in terms of the quality of the atmosphere? One of my friends says, he says, you know, we talk about a lot of things, and when we come together, we feel comfortable because we're in a comfort zone. We're all speaking the same language. But as Wendy says, it's not for us. And if you return to the Bible, it's not the sick, it's not the well who need the doctor. It's not the well who need the doctor. So my mission today is to challenge you and to say, are we really contradicting ourselves? Every time we don't achieve what we set ourselves, you know what we do? We change the goalpost. So we had Agenda 20 somebody, and then we go on to 2020, now we go on to 2030. each time we are approaching the milestone and recognize that we are falling short, we push the bar a little higher. Let's give ourselves a few more years to do what? The same thing that we've always been doing. So the question is, sometimes you keep saying, we want to do much, much more. At the end of the day, we are achieving much, much less. Thank you.
Your statement is, are we on the right track? And the answer, in your opinion, is no. Okay. So now we have to decide who's with him and who's not with him. Is there any preference from the room? You want to be with him or without? With him. Oh, so we have two. Okay. So you had the easier one before. So I give it this one. So you are agreeing with Keith? No. Statement? No. What? Yes? No. You are agreeing.
They agree.
No, they are not agreeing. You are agreeing, so you say we are not on the right track with our strategies, with the plans, with the things we are doing, because, well, we heard all the arguments that he gave. Not so much is changing. So you are not agreeing. That means that you think we are doing it the right way. Please take it away. Anyone? Think a minute. Is it difficult? I see. Yes, please. You can stand behind my. Oh yeah, and jump up. No, you can go, Gaetan.
Yes.
Gaetan?
Yes. I had a very cynical and pessimistic message, and I understand where it comes from, in a way. But I believe that actually we are doing something for change. Just look around the room, we still have people who were there maybe 30 or 40 years ago who were part of the sport for movement, and we are thankful and grateful for them for starting this all. But we also have young people, young leaders who are going to be the future of the sport for movement. And if anything can show that change is happening, yesterday it was not the TAFISA World Congress alone, it was the TAFISA World Congress and Smart Citizen Sport Summit, which shows that we are already reaching outside of our comfort zone and reaching out to other people and other stakeholders, because we realize that if we stay in our little island, we will not fix anything on our own. So I believe that we are already on the right track. But it doesn't mean that we have to get comfortable. We have to keep pushing and to keep working hard to make this happen.
I am George from Portugal. I agree with it. We are not in the right track because we are always postpone our goals. I can ask why the countries decide to go to the war, because it must to make the military service is mandatory. It must go to the school because in the European regions is mandatory for 12 years. More people, so many people don't like to pay the tax, but he must to pay the tax. Is a citizenship. And I think the physical activity must to be mandatory since the birth till 25 years. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Catherine from Germany. I do think that we are on the right track because, yes, it's true, we might not win majorities everywhere, but we win majorities in some parts of the world. And secondly, it's not always about majorities. I think every single child we might motivate to be active and to feel good, like little Zula, Zula was the name, I think. You know, I think every little girl, wherever in this world, feels somehow good in doing some movement is worth our effort.
Hi everyone, my name is Muntasir from Palestine. My idea is the point we need to shift the power between us. Shifting the power is sport and movement are completing each other. And if I agree or not agree, we did the movement. Yes, we did the movement. Because every day we can see more the circle going bigger and bigger, especially in sport. Like in my country, women was never playing sport, but now we have a good teams in football, in volleyball, in basketball, and we're reaching different places in the world. Here we need to work together to shift the power. So many countries, they shift the power with Palestine. And what we need to do here, as the big community in the world, Sport for All is the big community in the world. Let's shift the power between us. Everyone has experience to give to the other countries and to complete each other. Thank you.
I think this side is winning now at the moment. So I think, yes.
Good morning, I'm Maxwell from Sri Lanka. My good friend Keith made a very provocative statement. However, Keith, I don't agree with you because you spoke for the minority. You were talking about deprived people, but 40 years ago the world was different to today. So it has moved. If you don't move, you are in the backyard. For us, sport is for everyone. Life has changed, and as you say, goalpost is changing. From this side we don't see it. It is there, but you are talking about all the time numbers, statistics. Statistics won't give you the right answer all the time. So I think for us, we all feel things are happening. We are moving. Just because we don't get the right result, that doesn't mean we have to stop moving. We need to try hard, and then we will achieve the goal. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Kim from Australia. I think that if sport is for all, then that means that everyone here should be participating in sport regularly. So I want everyone to stand up. Stand up, everyone. So if you are participating in sport at least once a week for the last maybe few months, then stay standing. If you do not participate in sport once a week, sit down. Pretty good.
Very good, thank you. Okay. So are there more? Thank you very much for the active yes? Go ahead, please.
Hi, I was born in Japan, but I live in Australia. The big thing about sport is it's a cultural change. When you try to change, I'm a culture person. If you change something, you have to change the culture. Inviting a number of youngsters and adults, you need to shift the culture. That is a big thing. That's something I found in Australia. It's a huge sport culture in Australia. I'm particularly from jump rope Indian, so rope skipping, jump rope. I started promoting jump rope back in 1998. It actually took 15 to 16 years to change the whole culture around in the small area of Australia. Fortunately, this is my first Congress of TAFISA. We're talking about the cultural shift in the whole wide world, right? And we merely used 25 years. I think it is too early to say you're failing. I think it is on process of the cultural shift. So 25 years, more to come, I think.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'll take the last comment from this side. Yes?
Hi, my name is Leandro from table tennis, and I believe we are doing good. There are still things that we should change, so I agree with the gentleman. And we need to stop being just evangelists of sport and saying sport is good, sport is healthy, and convince the people only with that argument. And I think we have to adapt our offer and tailor our offer to a different target groups. And if there is no women, for example, practicing sport, we have to provide them a space, with a safe space where they can practice sport. If we want the elderly to practice sport, shorter session. If we want to involve the refugees, well, go to the refugee camps, go to the spaces where they're practicing. If we want to involve the immigrants, Then we have to take care about the language and the communication with them. So in general, I think we're on the right pathway, but we have to start adapting our offer to the different segments and target groups.
Very good, thank you. The very last one.
I'm Gisela from Germany. Yesterday I heard very often the general goal, making the world a better place through sport. And I think what is definitely happening, even though there are difficulties at that point and that, but for sure, sport makes the world a better place.
Thank you. So, I am wondering what Keith is going to think about the discussion. I will ask him in a minute. My conclusion would be that I was a little bit surprised, to be honest, that most comments came from this side. So I think that demonstrates a little bit the way we think as sport people. We are a little bit like the last one. We are a little bit the believers. We believe we are doing the right thing, and once we go on doing this, we will achieve what we think we want to achieve. But there were also some very valuable comments that we should not be too comfortable with ourselves. We should also try to adapt sport, like for new target groups. Or like George from Portugal said, we should not postpone our goals all the time. At the same time, we should not be too afraid. We are only doing it for 25 years, and 25 years for a big social change is nothing. And of course, it's a long time, but we should not be too afraid to take the time that is needed at the other side. I think it was a balanced discussion, but what do you think, Keith? And can you point out one winner, or did you find, it's not about winners, did you find one very positive comment you would like to?
No, it's just that from the vantage point of the presentation, what I was seeking to do is to say that, you know, in essence, we have to be more critically demanding of ourselves, which we are not doing. You know, we may talk about just 25 years, but there are organizations involved in sports many years before that. We see the rise of racism in sport. We see the ethnic challenges and conflicts being played out in sport. And they will impact the way in which people engage themselves in sport. But for the purposes of the debate and who I would give the award to, I would give to the first speaker from this side.
First speaker, let me see who was it. Oh yeah, oh, Gaetan from the office, so that's good. So he has an advantage, he has studied the topic before. Thank you very much. Good. Time is running, and we only have one speaker left. He is also Keith. He's George this time. And he's from the University of Liverpool. Most of you will have listened to him yesterday already, during the opening sessions of the Congress. And please remind yourself that this will be your last chance to contribute to the discussion. So if you also want to win one of those little red notebooks, then just be active. I think we're doing very well. Keith.